better get that ass of yours up to your room this very second. You are not going anywhere out of the house at this point, especially after what you did to Jeremiah in your freshman year of high school in 2020.
No, not after what that oversensitive fuck just revealed to his moms, and informed you and mom about. I'm not going to sit in this hellhole of a house and just let that little douche reveal whatever I told him not to.
Now you listen to us, and listen good young lady. If you don't stop complaining about the fact that your actions from mid-November 2020 have come to light, then you are gonna be grounded for a year and 2 months instead of a year. Besides, you getting exposed for what you did is something you're gonna have to live with.
Well, guess what, you ugly looking ass bitch. I don't give a shit whatsoever, and besides, Jeremiah has revealed something that Aliyah and I specifically told him not to.
Hey. Don't speak to your mother like that, and also, you said that shit like you don't show any remorse, and if that's the case, go to your room right now, cause you're grounding it.
Shove those words up your asses. I am out of here.
Hey! Dixie, get the fuck back in the house, you're still grounded, you know. Also, if you are gonna do anything to Jeremiah, it is gonna be a big no-no.
In your fucking faces, dickheads. Well, it's about damn time I escaped that hellhole of a house, especially since my parents were pissing me off to the very core. Besides, I have a person on my target list today, being that failed abortion, Jeremiah Taylor, who, may I say, exposed me and Aliyah to his moms, Destiny and Patricia, and sister, Daffodil, all because of what Aliyah and I did to him in the past. Like, come on, it's in the past for fuck's sake, and it's meant to be forgotten about. But no, that piece of shit keeps on bragging about me and Aliyah bullying him, and holding him hostage at our old school, when we had every right to do so, due to him being into boys, when he should be into girls instead. Oh, cousin, and Alessandra. What are you guys doing here, in the middle of the city right now? I thought you guys were at your residences or some shit.
Hey to you as well, Dix. But yeah, your cousin and I were originally at our respective residences, especially since I myself got punished over assaulting the Cromwell twins, Drex and Drexel, at the park, due to the one wearing yellow, aka Drexel, being pansexual, which is a huge disliking in my book.
What she said on her behalf, but however, in regards to me, I got punished over prank calling some individuals, including Cyrex, the Echo brothers, and a few others, pissing them off in the process, and now apparently I can't fucking do it anymore, especially since my parents bitch and complain about me doing it, when all I want to do is piss people off for the hell of it.
Damn. Really sucks that you two are quote-unquote getting put in your places over showing your dominance over people.
Oh, trust me, it's a pain in the ass sometimes. But, Colton and I were planning on robbing a bank a few streets nearby, and get a whole load of goods. So, if you want to tag along, and bring Zelix with you, feel free to.
Well, as much as I want to take part in whatever you and my cousin are about to do, I am currently about to go deal with an individual, you know, somebody from Kremlin Bay I knew since 9th grade.
Oh, and what do you mean by currently about to go deal with an individual from Kremlin Bay? Is there anyone from the city who's provoked you?
As a matter of fact, Colton, yes, and it was all because of this boy named Jeremiah Max Taylor, who Aliyah and I bullied back in our freshman year of high school, as well as held him hostage in a classroom with a knife, all over his sexual orientation, and his family structure. And basically, a week or two ago, that piece of shit himself decided to expose me and Aliyah to his moms, Destiny and Patricia, and his twin sister, Daffodil, which is the reason why I am so livid right now.
Now I understand why you don't want to take part in our plan now. Also, wow, you actually gotta be shitting me. That little douche should have just kept his fucking mouth shut about the whole situation, because what he got was honestly well deserved, and what I mean by that, is that at the time, you and Aliyah gave him a taste of his own medicine. I don't give a shit if he no longer wanted to stay quiet, or if he was so-called affected by the situation. He should have just done what you said, cause you're the boss bitch around here.
Exactly what Alessandra said, and besides, us, the vicious terrorists are the most superior individuals in this city, and we show our dominance against people who we hate and despise the most. So, if that Jeremiah kid is giving you a headache, why not go do what you wanted to do, since Alessandra and I got some bank robbing to do.
Oh, I am gonna do just that, cousin. Also, good luck getting all that money, as I am looking forward to throwing hands on some just as much as you. Well, maybe hiding behind this bush wasn't so bad after all, especially since that bitch Lillian didn't see me, due to her being so glued to her goddamn phone, probably calling her boyfriend or whatever. But that's not what's important. What's important is that I now have to contact my partner in crime, Aliyah, who recently texted me saying that she's at the weapons store, and discuss about what we are going to do to that bitch boy. Yo, what's going, Aliyah? I am currently at the CyberneticTechno city entrance. How's everything going at the weapons store? Are you getting the weapons we have on the list? You know, the spiked bats, and the Desert Eagle?
Actually, Dixie, I have just arrived at the weapons store, but don't mind if I do, 'cause I got into a bit of traffic.
Yay, like I am gonna buy that traffic excuse, like for fuck's sake Aliyah, you were supposed to be at the weapons store 15 minutes ago, and you don't have the weapons yet?
And how was I supposed to do that when there were many people walking into me, and complaining, and bitching about me going to the weapons store?
Well, you could have just assaulted them to unconsciousness or whatever else, just so they wouldn't be a pain in the ass to you.
Well, if I did that, I most likely would have gotten arrested. And you don't want that, do you? Because if I get thrown behind bars at this very second, then we won't be able to put our plan we've had in mind for days into action.
Ugh, I suppose you have a bit of a point there, considering that there would be pretty much around 50 people you had to beat the shit out of, which would probably be way too much fucking work, as well as the fact that it could possibly lead you to get arrested. But let's not argue over stupid-ass fuckery and assaulting 50 people at once, because we only have one individual, one person from Kremlin Bay who we are the most familiar with, and the one we targeted in our freshman year of high school.
Oh yeah, him? So, what were you thinking of doing to that failed abortion for a human being, aka Jeremiah, as our little act of revenge plotting? Also, I am now currently in the weapons section. So, while you explain your side of things, I'll be getting the spiked bats and the Desert Eagle ready.
Ah, now that is what I like to hear. Oh, and about my side of the revenge plan, well, it goes like this. So, basically, after you finish getting the weapons, aka the spiked bats and Desert Eagle, you are going to meet me up near the CyberneticTechno city entrance, and make sure nobody is in your sight during that time period. Then, once you're at the CyberneticTechno city entrance along with me, we will be sneaking to Kremlin Bay to find Jeremiah, in which case, he'll probably be with some of his fuck buddies. We are gonna trick his friends Antonio and Damien, by making them think we're giving them soda, when we're actually gonna give them water with sleeping pills, so that way, we can snatch Jeremiah, and bring him to our city, since I recently told Mikhail Andreev about our plan, and he said that we could use this house basement as a torture chamber for Jeremiah.
Oh my god, Dixie, that is such a phenomenal idea, especially since Mikhail was polite enough to give us permission to use his basement as a place to torture Jeremiah and just to inform you, I finished getting the weapons, and everything went according to plan.
That is great to know, Aliyah. Also, it was really handy of him to let us use this basement as a way for us to get revenge on that mistake, because if we did this torturing session in one of our basements, then our parents would immediately hear the noises, and that is the last thing we want to deal with. So, now, feel free to come meet up with me at the CyberneticTechno City entrance, and we will continue putting our plan into action from there.
So, I can concur that the man lying on the floor is the one you'll be torturing. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are, Mikhail, and Aliyah and I managed to get him just fine. We just tricked his two bodies into thinking we were giving them soda, when we actually gave them water with sleeping pills inside the two respective cups we gave them.
I see. And I gotta say, I'm happy to know that your and Aliyah's plan was a success, and that you managed to get those two fuckers out of the way of your scheme with no issue.
Exactly, and that's what we hoped for, especially since those two aren't worth our time at this point, since they mean jack shit to us. But back on topic. Since we didn't want to do this torturing at our own houses, we figured your basement would be the perfect place to do so.
Makes perfect sense in my perspective, since I guess you don't wanna risk getting caught by your families.
Yay, that's exactly it, because you know how our parents react when we do these kind of things. They bitch and complain about it, and can't handle us having our freedom. Like this is a free country, which means we can do whatever the fuck we want, and what we want.
Well, I can understand where you two are coming from, considering that I got fired from my job as a police officer, simply for taking my anger out on an old friend of mine. And also, if you were gonna ask if the basement is organized for the torturing session you're gonna have against this kid, you don't gotta worry, because that job is already done.
Well, we are totally satisfied to hear all of that coming from you, Mikhail, and considering that Dixie and I need a well-organized space to put this plan into action. You just made it a whole lot easier for us, and we gotta thank you.
Yay, Aliyah is being 100% based here, and since we have a really heated beef with Jeremiah and his family, we also want to scare the living shit out of his mother's twin sister, and even his boyfriend, considering that his mothers, Destiny and Patricia, are the main reasons why we got exposed to the media, due to them telling our parents about what we put Jeremiah through in school.
Ah, so I see that you also wanna do this because you wanna hurt his loved ones too. Well, their reactions will be for sure priceless, when they find out about what you two will do.
Real shit that they'll be priceless, Mikhail and Dixie, and I already can't wait to show this bitch boy what happens when he exposes bullying that he was told to keep secret, without saying a fucking word to anybody, including his own family.
Well, since you two are so eager to get this kidnapping done and over with, Conan, follow me to the basement, and take Jeremiah with you. So that way, I can cuff his hands to the chain downstairs, and just so that you two can show your dominance over him, and show him what happens when you fuck around and find out.
It seems like you are getting the idea, Mikhail. Also, once you're finished cuffing Jeremiah to the chain in the basement, you are going to stand outside of your house, pretty much like a bodyguard of the household, just so that people won't enter the house uninvited.
Wow. I like the way you are thinking, Dixie, and yes, I can definitely do that, no problem, especially if it means letting you and Aliyah show your dominance over that mistake. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get this plan going, and make this kid realize that he has made the biggest mistake of his life.
Babe, what is with the look on your face? Did anything happen?
Well, Patricia, a few moments ago, as I was looking everywhere and inside the house, I tried calling Jeremiah several times, since he wasn't seen anywhere in the places I looked in, but he wasn't responding to any of my calls. Also, do you happen to know where he is right now?
No, unfortunately, I do not, but however, the last time I checked, he told me that he was going to go out with his friends and boyfriend, but he never showed up for dinner.
Well, that is the thing I am concerned about right now, as Jeremiah promised to be home at around 9 o'clock, and it has already been 13 minutes.
Oh God, please don't tell me that he is missing.
Well, honey, it could definitely be a possibility, but I'm not so sure, especially since nothing was confirmed yet.
You know, Mom, I remember you talking with me about it in the kitchen, and, honestly, I have a really suspicious feeling about this, especially if this involves past enemies we are familiar with, and are aware of.
Well, Daffodil, that could also be another possibility, considering that he has not came back home yet, and it could be possible that he is missing. But also, sweetie, do you have any idea where your brother ended up?
Well, Mom, not that I am aware of. But I remember when I was making a hair tutorial on TikTok earlier, I saw Jeremiah talking with Damien and Antonio, and for some reason, I saw two girls who looked familiar, give Damien and Antonio drinks, and they ended up unconscious on the ground. However, I didn't really get a close-up of who they were, since yet again, I was making a TikTok video at the time when that happened.
Well, at least you managed to figure out what was going on. But it still doesn't change the fact that your brother is not here. So Daffodil, do you have any more evidence as to what happened?
If you were wondering as to what else happened, Mrs. and Mrs. Taylor, I have actually got evidence to prove to not just both of you, but Daffodil as well.
Hold up. Brock, you actually have evidence as to what happened outside, and also, does this have anything to do with our son?
As a matter of fact, it actually does. So, when I was about to meet up with Jeremiah, Damien, and Antonio, I saw these two girls giving Antonio and Damien glasses of water, which turned out to have sleeping pills inside them, and as I got a little close-up while recording the incident, the two girls assaulted Jeremiah to unconsciousness, picked him up, and ran off. And before I forget, yes, I did record the whole incident, and I highly suggest taking a look for yourselves, because oh boy, you won't believe who these girls are.
Okay, will do, as I really got to see this. Also, Mom, you both gotta take a look at this as well. What the actual fuck? There is no way.
You have gotta be kidding me right now, Aliyah and Dixie? Two of Jeremiah's high school bullies are responsible for his disappearance, and also, the fact that they assaulted him to unconsciousness and had the audacity to run off, and take him like it's nothing? Oh, they are so going to be in deep shit once we get a fucking hold of their parents and the police.
Yeah, I am so with you on that, Patty. And now thinking about it, it's no wonder why he didn't come back home in the first place. And it was all because of those two, probably kidnapping him or something like that.
Well, Mrs. and Mrs. Taylor, and Daffodil, I was just as speechless as you three were when I recorded the whole incident while it was occurring, especially since Jeremiah is my boyfriend, and I don't want anything to happen to him, let alone him getting kidnapped.
And I really gotta thank you for bringing this to my and my mother's attention, Brock, since we were recently discussing about Jeremiah's whereabouts. And besides, I had a slight suspicion that Dixie and Aliyah had something to do with this, but the last thing I wanted to do was jump into conclusions.
It's no trouble at all, Daffodil, especially since if it means that we can go find Jeremiah, and bring him back to the city, and since I also heard that Dixie and Aliyah are citizens from a city called CyberneticTechno, I have a feeling that the two girls might have brought him there.
Well, we don't know for sure, but however, we can most definitely take a good look, especially since Patricia and I are familiar with that city, due to Brindley being there, who, may I remind you, is one of Jeremiah and Daffodil's old friends.
Then what are we waiting for, Destiny? Let's all go and search CyberneticTechno, and look for our son, before Dixie and Aliyah do anything seriously harmful to him.
Oh, my God, my head hurts as if I smashed it into a wall of bricks or something like that. Also, hold on, why the hell can't I move my arms? This most definitely doesn't look like outside, like at all.
Well, if you take a good look behind your sorry ass, you will find out the two who were behind all of this, and we also had a little accomplice named Mikhail Andreev, who helped us with this. So, are you enjoying your new home, bitch boy?
Dixie and Aliyah? This is not fucking possible, not even close.
Oh, like it was ever gonna be impossible? Especially since we are back, after almost 4 long-ass years? Well, 2 weeks in Dixie's case, since she rightfully brought up yours and Daffodil's past. So, once again, enjoying your new home? One that's away from the people who love you with all their hearts.
Do you seriously fucking think I am enjoying being chained up in a basement, let alone one that isn't even at my home city, and especially one that belongs to a corrupt as fuck so-called cop? No. Fuck no. Not a single chance in hell. And also, why would you girls even consider thinking about doing something as fucked up as this, aka, kidnapping?
Oh, we will tell you why, alright. It is because you have decided to reveal all of the bullying you've went through at the hands of us, which was well deserved. And not to mention that you even brought up the part where I was holding you hostage in front of our former classmates at one time, as well as the part where my partner in crime here threw a glass bottle at your sister, just so we could continue to pick on your sorry ass constantly. As well as that, it's also because your failed abortion-looking ass exposed us to your mommies and sister, by allowing your moms to expose us to the media.
So that's what this kidnapping session is about? Bullying and secrets I should have brought to light a long time ago, and also because your homophobic and racist asses would rather not handle the truth about you, over taking accountability for the shit that you two, along with your gang, have caused together, and for the shit you put people through for that matter as well.
Oh, so you wanna talk shit about us now? How, well, if that's the case, let us do this one thing we should have done to you a while back, and just so you could realize how big of a mistake you made. Now your ass is going to listen to us? And listen very well. 1. Take back all of the shit you said and revealed about us. And 2. Say that the bullying you went through at the hands of us was justified. Otherwise, we will not only give you one hell of a beatdown, but I will feed you bullets.
Am I ever going to say that it was quote-unquote justified for you and your accomplice to bully me over things I couldn't help? No fucking way am I going to. And besides, I was literally crying my eyes out when you two put me through all that, and you just had to watch me suffer, not giving a shit how much your actions at the time affected me.
Well, since you are not going to listen to your one and only warning from us, prepare to face a very fucking violent beatdown coming your way, and some bullets to go along with it too.
Oh fuck no, that is not going to happen anytime soon, since you and your accomplice are in massive hot water with us now.
Wait, what?
Well, Dixie and Aliyah, you two got anything to say for yourselves? Also, you two better put the spiked bat and dessert eagle down this very second.
Oh yay, and why would Aliyah and I listen to a pussy licker like yourself? And besides, your sorry excuse of a son needs to be taught a lesson. Also, no, we're not going to let go of the weapons we have in our possession.
Well, if I were you two, I would listen to Destiny, since Officer Waylon and I were about to say the same thing to you two. So, once again, put the fucking weapons down, right now.
Well, why does it not surprise me that there was gonna be another load of bullshit like this, especially considering what your gang has done so far, as well as Mikhail Andreev, who is currently in one of the police cars, just about to be put behind bars for kidnapping and illegal conspiracy. Dixie and Aliyah, put your hands behind your backs, right now, and don't think about running off.
Dixie Zavala and Aliyah Denmark, you two are under arrest for kidnapping, aggravated assault, and illegal conspiracy. And Aliyah, you are also being placed under arrest for theft and illegal possession of a firearm as well.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you girls say will be used against you in the court of law. Now, come with us to the police cars, and don't think about resisting.
You are seriously out of your fucking mind. Not only did you escape the house when your mother and I specifically told you not to do so, but you threw glass bottles at us, knocking us to the floor, leaving us in our own blood, and planned a whole scheme of kidnapping against Jeremiah, along with your friend Aliyah, which included assaulting him to unconsciousness, which he almost got sent to the hospital for, gave his friends Damien and Antonia water with sleeping pills, just so you and Aliyah could take Jeremiah all the way to our home city, and to the corrupt former officer's house, kidnapped him, and also threatened to assault him, in the basement.
But however, thank God his mother's boyfriend, his sister, and officers Waylon and Sasha stopped you too, as well as arrested Mikhail right on time before you did even more damage, otherwise things would have gotten a whole lot worse. So, for this, not only will your grounding be extended to a year and 7 months, due to your jail sentence being 7 months exactly, but your father and I will also be signing you up for therapy while you are in jail, and you better go along with it, or else things are not going to end well for you. Do you understand us, Dixie?
Ugh, fine. Yes, I understand. I'll go along with therapy for you too.
That is what we like to hear out of you. We are gonna be leaving the police station right now, and we hope that you use this 7-month jail sentence, and your time behind bars in general, to reflect on your actions from today.
Aliyah, you You seriously got no idea how pissed off your father and I am with you right now, going along with the kidnapping scheme with Dixie and that corrupt former officer, Mikhail. Andreev, stole weapons from the city's weapons store, kidnapped Jeremiah, over shit that he rightfully revealed to his mothers, and worst of all, you had the fucking audacity to hold him at gunpoint in the basement Mikhail chained him up in. But luckily, his mother's sister, boyfriend, and those two officers stopped you and your friend just in time, before things escalated into a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, and as well as that, because of the 8-month jail sentence you received, as well as everything else you did today, including escaping the house without permission, you are now grounded for 2 years and 4 months, and while you are in jail, much like what Dixie's parents are doing with Dixie, we're going to be signing you up for therapy, and we highly suggest you to go along with it.
Well, if it means that it won't end well if I don't go with it, I will go along with the therapy session, as I don't want to have an unlucky future.
Well, we're happy to hear that you're going with it, since we don't want you to have a horrible future either, which is why we decided to sign you up for therapy in the first place.
Now, we are going to be heading off to sign you up for therapy, and I really hope that during your 8 months in jail, you will reflect on all the bullshit you did along with Dixie today. So, farewell daughter, and we'll see you later.
Well, Mrs. and Mrs. Taylor, and Daffodil, despite this night being chaotic as hell due to 2 girls I don't want to name at this point, saving Jeremiah from them and that corrupt former officer thankfully went successful.
Yeah, and thank God that it did, especially since we informed the CyberneticTechno police force about it, and luckily arrested those 2 girls, who I don't want to name myself either.
As well as that, when I called Charli, Stewart, Anchor, and Mildred, aka their parents, they told Destiny and I that they were going to sign their daughters up for therapy for what they did today, which, in my opinion, is for their own good, considering how fucked up their actions were tonight.
Word Patricia, I just really hope that those 2 take those therapy sessions in prison seriously, and not act like immature woman children when they take place, since the last thing I want for them to do is to strike at one of us again. At the same time, I do have slight suspicions that they are not gonna take them very well, and possibly do some stupid shit like how they did so just recently.
Well, Mom, I wouldn't worry about it too much at this point if I were you, because, at the end of the day, I haven't gotten assaulted in that corrupt former officer's house, and that you, Mom, Daffodil, and Brock, as well as officers Waylon and Sasha, found me just in time, and got me out of the house with no trouble.
Yeah, Mom, Jeremiah is making a point. And besides, those 2 girls are now behind bars, for 7 and 8 months respectively, and our focus shouldn't be on them at this point.
You know, you 2 are spot on there. But also, Brock, before you go, we just have to give you some credit.
Oh, give me credit for what exactly?
For being one of the main reasons as to how we managed to find Jeremiah, as well as finding out who was responsible for the mess. I mean, if you haven't came to us and told us about this whole situation, then we wouldn't know where Jeremiah was in the first place. So, in all honesty, you did a great deed for us today, and we gotta thank you for doing so.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. I had to do what was right anyways, and especially if it's for Jeremiah, aka, the victim in the situation. Speaking of which, I gotta get going now, and Jeremiah and Daffodil, if you guys wanna hang out tomorrow, feel free to give me a call, or whatever else.
So, Mom and Mom, do you care if Daffodil and I go out with our friends tomorrow afternoon?
Of course we don't mind. As long as you 2 come home safe, then that's all we care about.
Awesome, so, Jeremiah and I will be in our rooms if you need anything.
Are you two holding up good?
For the most part, yes. Better than yesterday to say the least.
Good to know. But also not surprising, since Dixie and Aliyah are currently behind bars due to what they did to you last night.
Dude, don't get me started on those two, as last night, they literally collaborated with a corrupt former officer named Mikhail Andreev to kidnap Jeremiah, just because he revealed their true colors, and what they did to him in 9th grade. Like, what kind of pathetic reason is that for you to kidnap someone, all over revealing the truth about you, and not to mention over their sexualities?
You are telling me, man. It's a load of bullshit. It's been going on for God knows how long. Ain't surprised that CyberneticTechno has racist and homophobic assholes like how we do.
Well, they are unfortunately everywhere. We can't do anything about it other than the people who are choosing to be that way. If they don't want to stop being discriminatory, then that's their problem, not anyone else's. Dixie and Aliyah, for example, as of right now.
I suppose you're right.
I don't think he wants to talk about the two girls and that incident anymore at this point.
And if I'm being honest, I can't blame Antonio. I mean, that situation was bad enough as it was.
Yeah, same, as I also don't want to talk about that anymore, at least right now.
What? So your brother was kidnapped by two high school bullies named Dixie and Aliyah?
And all over revealing bullying and so-called secrets they told him to keep secret, as well as the fact that they did this over homophobic tendencies. I actually can't believe it.
Well, as hard as it is to believe, it is all true. In fact, I was one of the people along with Brock, my moms, and officers Waylon and Sasha, to save Jeremiah from getting assaulted by Dixie and Aliyah in that corrupt former officer's house.
Oh, so Dixie and Aliyah are the names of the two bullies, huh? Well, those bitches got what was coming to them, 7 and 8 month jail sentences respectively, and getting signed up for therapy, which will hopefully teach them a lesson for what they did to your brother, along with that psychopathic excuse for a corrupt former officer, who is also serving time behind bars, for his fucked up involvement.
Yeah, and the fact that those two worked with a corrupt former officer out of all people makes that situation worse if I'm being honest. I mean, I can't even imagine how Jeremiah felt yesterday during that incident.
You know, I can 100% agree with you there, Miley. And speaking of Jeremiah, Daffodil, how is he holding up as of right now?
As of today, he is doing a lot better, and ever since we got him out of the house Dixie and Aliyah were about to assault him in, he's been trying to recover from what he's experienced.
Well, at least he's doing better than yesterday, and that he's not going through so much bullshit unlike last night.
Word Brooklyn, I mean, it's bad enough that we had racist and homophobic bigots in our city, but the fact that two discriminatory bitches from CyberneticTechno go as far as to kidnap Jeremiah over revealing their true colors. It's just sickening.
It definitely is sickening just thinking about it. However, you three, is it okay if we talk about something else? I'm not in the mood to talk about this anymore.
You know what, we definitely can do that, Miley. I mean, just thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach.
If that's the case, you guys got any ideas for things we can talk about?
To be honest, it depends what comes to our minds, but we'll say something if we do. Brooklyn.